I'm very, very passionate about the idea of the law of attraction and really being inspired. And that's why I really love this conference, because it's about inspiration, about feeling good, and about really attracting the things that you desire in life. Because I know there's hundreds of people, thousands of people are consistently going through, negative situations and negative drama and relationships and attracting the negative things into life. And I personally believe that if you put your intentions on what is it that you truly want to attract into your life, and you align yourself with that, then those circumstances tend to just show up. It's like magic almost. They just open up, the doorways open up to you when you can align yourself with the things that you truly want into your life. And as an example, I wrote down the things that I wanted. I wrote them down in a list in my notebook. Every day I write down that I'm attracting friends, I'm attracting people. And opportunities just start to open up. I met my fiance here on an airplane, and I wrote down in my book before I met her that I am attracting a spiritual lady with a free spirit that fully loves and supports all I choose to do. I wrote that down a couple times in my notebook. And at 6:30 in the morning, this beautiful young lady comes down the aisle, 6:30 mind you, it's early, and she sits down next to me and we had a chit chat. And she talked to me the whole time for 4.5 hours. Okay, I'm just kidding. I talked all the time. But we had a deep conversation, and we held hands through the terminal, and we kissed before we departed. And I mean, that never happens, right? But it happened to us, and it's all because of the power of the mind and what you tell yourself on a regular basis. The thing is, how do we think about the things we want on a regular basis when we have all these unconscious negative thoughts consistently sabotaging what we truly want? Someone here yesterday said that she has the talks of her mom and dad or something, or just that ego that keeps trying to sabotage where you are, and that ego always tries to make your situation not what it is. It's like let's say for an example, you're driving and you're late to work. Your ego says, I'm late, I wonder what my boss is going to tell me. Why are you going to focus on that when you're still in your car driving, right? Stay in the present moment at all times, because when you're in the present moment, it opens a doorway for magic to come in. The purpose of my talk today is to basically show you the steps of change. How to change from negative thinking to positive thinking, and the little different steps that pertains from thinking this way to that way. There was a statement from Bob Proctor, and I don't know if anyone here knows who Bob Proctor is, off The Secret. He said that if you change the directions of your thoughts by just 1 degree, and you go a mile down the road, you'll be in a completely new location. You guys agree? You just change it by 1 degree. I mean, you just change your thoughts by just a little bit. Even if it's just a little bit, you're making a big difference. Because normally when you think consistently negative in one direction and you keep thinking this way, you're going to continuously getting the same results over and over and over again. Like an example, I don't like working in the engineering field. Electrical is my background. And I consistently said over and over again, I don't like engineering, I hate this job. But what I was doing is that I was putting engineering in my mind, and I was associating with a negative feeling that consistently the engineering opportunities would open up, which is good if you're looking for money, right? But it was bad for my spirit because I did not want to be here. So in order for me to make that shift, I had to change the thoughts consistently on a regular basis. And before you know it, I felt like I'm in a completely new location because I feel better, I got great friends. I moved from Las Vegas to Phoenix, just making a leap of faith, just to try something new because I had this burning desire to come here. And before you know it, I met Andrea, the job came in, the opportunity showed up, now I'm working from home, I don't have to go anywhere, so life feels more freeing this way. So, again, I'm going to just do a small illustration here that kind of shows the steps of change, and then maybe you guys can see where you fit in the stages. I call them the 4 steps of positive change. I don't have any fancy words like Todd has, but the law of West. Yeah. So, let's see, this is stage number 1, and I think this is where majority of the people are in, which is in the, look at me, I'm shaking. Okay, this is the UN, Unconscious Negativism. This is where you are consistently having negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative situations, and you're unconscious of it. You're just, for an example, you walk home and there's spilt milk on the floor. You're yelling and you're screaming at the kids, at the dog, at whatever the situation, you're just yelling, you're mad, but you're unconscious of it, and you're attracting more negative situations. Now your kids are upset at you, and they're blaming each other, right? And you're consistently, you're unconsciously projecting negativity, negative to the situation. And then the next stage of shift is the CN, which this stands for conscious negativism, which now you are making negative actions, negative thoughts, and you are aware of it. You are actually, you're noticing that you're yelling at your coworker, or you do something wrong and you're like, I was negative today. I gotta stop. That's a real excellent step for change, by the way. The next step is CP. This is conscious positivism, meaning now you're making mistakes and you're changing it. You're changing it. Like, there's an issue. You know that you can say something negative, but you choose to say something positive. You choose to change your thoughts just by a little bit at that moment. And when you start making those positive changes, you're now in the conscious positivism category. Then when you move to the next stage, so really it's going like this, right? Next step, and this is where I believe where all the magic can happen, and I'm using magic because I'm a magician. All the magic can happen in this stage where you are in the unconscious positivism stage, stage number 4. And this is where you are unconsciously making the right choices, unconsciously being positive at all chances, every situation. You try to find the light of the darkness, try to find the light. So in the unconscious negativism, can anyone here give me an example of someone has experienced where you're just like unconsciously yelling, being Mary?
Driving, someone cuts you off, you're pissed.
Yes, that's a
and
great
it just
example.
comes right out.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you think your life is fine until someone cuts you off, right?
Yeah.
You give them the bird, right? And yeah, that's
It happens so
unconscious.
fast, you don't even, and then after you're done, you're like, oh, it was me.
So what do you do? How do you change from that? How do you shift? How do you make that shift?
You reframe it.
Reframe it, referencing, calling it something different.
Well, yeah, like in her example, we were kind of talking about this at lunch a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
In her example, instead of like reacting to in anger, just going, well, I hope everything's okay at home. I hope they're not, they didn't get some bad news, if they're in a hurry to get somewhere, or the hospital, or somebody ill, or something like that, and just get out of their way and go, angels watch over until he gets there.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, does anyone here fall in one of these categories? I mean, show of hands, who's here? The unconscious. Probably not. What, maybe you right now?
I think I'm in all.
Okay.
It depends what's going on.
But because we're here now, I think we're all in this stage, right? Because now we're consciously aware that we are having negative thoughts, and we are consciously aware that we're uninspired. We know that there needs to be change, right? So when we begin doing meditations and you learn to relax and slow down the mind, you can actually create new thoughts, because I don't know if you know, there's a stream of thinking that you have on a regular basis. There's like 90,000 thoughts that you have on a regular basis, and and 95% of those thoughts are the same thoughts you had yesterday, and it's a stream.
Is that like per day? 90,000 per day?
Yeah, it's just a stream that just consistently goes unconsciously, and for you to know what you're thinking is how you're feeling. If you're feeling like crap, you've probably been having a lot of crappy thoughts consistently streaming through your mind, right? And your feelings lets you know what you're thinking upstairs. So the idea is to meditate, to relax, to open up that doorway and start pulling new thoughts that makes you feel good. Eckhart Tolle says that once you get a negative thought, you have to drop it like hot potato. And that's when you start beginning to make that shift. So when you get a negative thought or a judgment about something or a situation, you just got to drop it and maybe pull something else that makes you feel good. It may not be true at that moment, but if you do it right just enough, that negative situation will just disappear. I had an example. One of my coworkers said, hey, the big boss said that you're not doing a good job. I was doing my work, but this person said, hey, the big boss says you're not doing a good job. And I was playing with that thought all day long, and it was just making me feel I didn't feel good. So what did I have to do? I had to cover it up with something else and say, the boss said you're doing a great job. You know, even though that wasn't the case, in order for me to feel good, I had to call it something else and say, you know, this is fine. The boss says I'm doing great. And before you know it, that negative thought just vanished. And I continued my day. So I know, you know, we have lots of belief systems from our past, from our parents. You know, that's all been given to you, as Kira was mentioning that, you know, and Todd, that's been given to you when you were a kid. That's one half of who we are. The other half is knowing that and start coming up with new belief systems, new thoughts, new ideas, something that inspires you, something that makes you feel good. And when you start doing that on a regular basis and changing your program, your life situations begins to change. There was an example that I think it was Bob Proctor. He mentioned that if you're programmed to go in this direction, your brain program says go here, but you physically try to turn this way, right? Physically, you try to turn even though the program's meant to go this way, kind of like a diet plan, for an example, right? We've tried to do the diet plan, right, or exercise, but our brain says, I'm not ready yet, right? You go this direction, but you'll notice there's stress, strain. You're going to end up snapping back to the old ways, and you end up going back the old way. So the idea is to change your program. If you change your program to go in this direction, your boat will just naturally turn and go in that new direction. So how do we have these new thoughts? Well, affirmations, for an example. That's why I believe in the power of the application I Am That I Am that I've created. It's because it's pre-programming your thoughts with new thoughts on a regular basis. And the app would lie in this area right here, where you are consciously going from negative to positive. Consciously, you know that. And the application is just a tool. It's just a tool to help you know. It's a tool to help you put in new thoughts, new wants, and you do that on a regular basis until it becomes unconscious. And then you no longer need the tool, and you're unconsciously moving in the direction you desire. And really, as this small tidbit, that's all I really have to say. And gain that awareness. So meditation, sit back, relax, you know, focus on your breathing, and be conscious of the thoughts you have. Because the thoughts that you have in your mind at a consistent basis is going to dictate what comes into your life, you know. And one more real quick illustration is this. This is high frequency. I call this the high frequency domain. And then here you have the low frequency domain. Okay? And I'm only going to say this real fast, that the high frequency domain is where your dreams and desires are located. They're located here. Why I say that is because when you attract those dreams and desires, it makes you feel good. And when you feel good, your vibration energy is much higher. When someone walks into the room and they feel good, you know that right off the bat. You can feel it, that they feel good, right? They feel great. So this, from negative to positive, right? This is from feeling bad to feeling good. The opposite of that is when someone walks into the room, they're feeling bad, it's a negative vibration, it's a lower vibration, and you can feel that as well when someone walks in, like, this guy must be negative, I can feel his energy. If you're intuitive, you can feel that level. So my purpose with the company that I'm running called Awaken My Life, I'm the co-founder of that and have a lot of support from friends and family. My goal, my mission is to kind of help people wake up to their inner self, wake up to the idea that you have the power to change the feelings, you have the power to change the thoughts that you have on a regular basis, and that just by feeling good and picking new thoughts, that's bringing you closer up to the alignment of your dreams and desires. And if you do that enough, it's like magic. How in the heck did I get here? I'm in a completely new location. And that's the end of my talk for today. And it's just a small tidbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, open for questions, sure.
Do you have meditation tips for anybody who doesn't really know how to meditate that well?
Yeah, meditation tips. You were saying that you move a lot, right?
Yeah.
You constantly move. Someone else said that they have other thoughts in their mind. They just won't leave them alone. The idea in meditation is to focus, I'm sure you've heard this a lot if you've done some research on meditation, is to focus on your inner body, feel the cool breeze, you know, feel the temperature underneath your butt, feel the clothing you're wearing, feel your breath in and out. And when you're concentrating on your inner body, you can't think and concentrate at the same time. It's not possible. If you're focusing, there's no thinking. It's like putting a needle, a string into a needle. If you're thinking, you're gonna prick yourself. So when you're meditating, really put your intentions on the inner body, feel your body. That will slow down the stream of thinking. That'll slow it down to the point where an inspired thought might present itself. You know, it might be so, you know, so blank, and an inspired thought comes in, you're like, oh, I'm gonna call my best friend today, or I'm gonna travel to Italy, whatever the case may be.
Can I add just something to
Sure,
your question?
by all means.
Something that Dr. Dyer suggested actually worked pretty well with me. He said, because we have like 60,000 thoughts per day, he said just imagine these thoughts as jail bars, for example, and all these thoughts. And then he called his technique getting in the gap. So he says just in order to reduce this number of bars and get between and see the other side of these jail bar, think about it, especially a sentence that you like from Bible or any affirmation sentence that you like. But from one word to another, you say, like for example, let's say, I am a successful person, right? You say I, you think about I only, you keep imagining that I coming to you. And then you go am. So there is a gap between I, you might have to switch between I to am as a word. So if you think about it, you actually get a blank situation in between switching this word in your mind. And that's a gap. So you said go I, and think about it a little bit. Go am, and then go back. Try to get back between these two, the blank space that you had between these words, and stay there for a little bit. And then go to the next word. When you do this practice, it will help you reduce the extra thoughts you have and basically getting in that gap, which is really helpful.
He has a little book and with a little CD that says it's Getting in the Gap Meditation by Wayne Dyer. So you can look that up online. You can get it for a few cents on Amazon.
Yeah, they have excellent books. Wayne Dyer's amazing. It was Wayne Dyer, Eckhart Tolle, Bob Proctor, Marion Williamson. Tony Robbins has some good example too. I mean, that's the thing. You know we all have the power to change. You just gotta reprogram the old habits into something new. And if you do that just enough, you'd be surprised at what shows up. I mean, it's like magic to me. You would say a Harry Potter-ish style. It's just people come in and say something, like it's exactly what I've wanted to hear right now. It's how we met friends. And Dre and I, we said, we just want to meet people. And we don't go out and look for people. We just be ourselves and enjoy. The people will come to us.
Yeah, we really do just come to you. We come to your house, we drink your wine.
Yeah, you eat our food, watch TV.
We watch TV, we lay on your couch, we play with your kids,
children.
we play with the dogs. Yeah.
But the awareness is the first step. Being fully aware, the awareness is feeling the cool breeze and listening to people and just being aware alone is the first step to positive change. I truly believe that 100%. And if you guys want, I put my flyer down. Someone was asking me how do you get the app and whatnot, and I got a flyer there. If you go to iamthatiamapp.com, it takes you to my website. We can download the application for free. For the Android users here, how many do we have? If you guys want to write your affirmations down and maybe record them on your device, on your phone, just record your affirmations. If you record it one time, send it to me. 6 or 8 of them. Just record it. Say, I am successful, I am healthy, I am sexy, I look good. Just any affirmations you want, send it to me and I'll chop them up and create an audio out of it. And you guys can listen to it while you're in the gym or while you're sleeping at night.
Send it to you how, by email?
Email, yeah. If you go on that website, or it's chris@awakenmylife.com. If you guys want to write
Do you
that
want to
down.
pass out those
flyer?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
know you don't have a lot of them, but
I bought
enough?
20.
yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, everybody takes one. If you can't use it, somebody can.
And this was an inspired thought in meditation. Oh, you do?
Isn't that funny?
You sit,
Yeah.
you meditate, and you
You never know.
realize, hey, this is an idea. I want to try to implement it. And then just take the first step. That's all you got to do is take the first step. Before you know it, you're at the end game. But it doesn't stop there. I got other ideas now.
That's right.
Anyone else wants? Thank you there, Todd. You guys got it already.
I actually don't have one,
All right.
and now I want one.
No.
Because I haven't
Yeah.
seen your flyer.
When you're talking
Or maybe I have
about,
no
you know,
idea
like
about
doing
it.
a lot of these,
Yeah.
affirmations
Yeah.
where you're doing the, I am successful, I am this, I am that. How about doing one that is to do with positive thoughts? You know, can you do something like that? I mean, that's just an idea, I'm not sure how you, what you
What do you
do.
mean,
Like a
like,
pre-recorded positive
Yeah.
thought one, or a pre.
Yeah,
For people who maybe don't know how to.
you don't know how
Record?
to actually, yeah, that
That's a
don't
good
know.
idea.
what do you mean that don't know how
Go ahead,
to come up with
sorry.
a positive?
To reinforce positive in themselves. So somebody who doesn't know how to reinforce positive in themselves, but they want positive, and they have no
Exactly.
idea what kind of affirmations to take, which is why
Well, in-
people come to us for hypnosis. They're like, I want to be positive, but I don't know how.
Well,
Right.
And we throw those words in for them.
well, that's what the
Exactly.
affirmation is. There's different categories. There's career, family, health,
Money.
love, money. Okay, there's these
Right.
different categories, and
Right.
there's pre-selected affirmations already written in there for you. If you don't know what to say about money, I say, I am attracting more money into my life. There's already pre-selected affirmations. However, you don't have to go that route. There's a custom category where you can customize the affirmation any way you want. Listen to your music from your iTunes library. And the reason why I thought of this idea when I was meditating is because here's the wholeness. So everyone wants to feel inspired and feel like their life is in balance, right? And you have different areas of your life. You have family, you have career, you got money, you got relationships. I don't know, health, right? You got health. And what's another?
Spirituality.
Spirituality, for an example, okay? Now, you gotta ask yourself, honestly, what percentage are you spending at work? Are you spending 90% in your career? Maybe money, you're lacking money. Maybe in relationships, you're doing okay. In health, you're doing okay. In spirituality, maybe you're up here. And, you know, family, you're okay. If you were to take out all of the circle right here, if you take all of this out, do you think this would easily roll down the street?
Nope, you're ready.
No.
That
You
would
would,
be a disaster.
you would bump, right? I mean, maybe you're at work and it feels good, right? And then you go home and you're stuck at your family scenario. It's like, this doesn't feel good. So the idea of the affirmations is to feel as if what you desire is here right now. When you can hold on to that energy of what you desire is here right now, you begin to increase that bucket. You start feeling yourself up in that area. So if health is your issue, you record, I am healthy, I am well. If it's relationships, I have the perfect mate that's helping me is supporting me. Money, I have money. Here, family, and my family is amazing, and I love my job, even though that may not be the case, but you're pre-programming your mind to help induce the feelings as if what you desire is here now. You start beginning to feel whole, and then this gains momentum, and then you can start small, and it grows from there like a snowball. Start small, and it keeps rolling, it gets bigger and bigger, and you start feeling more and more better. Or
More better.
more better. So that's it. I mean, that's the idea, is to feel as if what you desire is here right now. Everyone here seems to be lacking in one of these areas. Maybe you got a good job, good career, good money, relationship, but your family stinks. Maybe your family's good, career's good, everything else good, but your money is tight, There's always one area that's like I don't feel fulfilled because of this one little thing. But if you can change your thoughts about it, that you'll feel, and then life just magically transforms for you.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's it. Todd, Garrett?
Good.